Итак, всем привет, мы продолжаем играть в диско Elysium. Ай, так. Что я тут?
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't fucking.
I'll die before I
Не знаю,
squeal.
как мне похуй. За что тебе похуй, мне похуй. Понял? Все разъяснил вполне себе. Не, я туда не доберусь. Так. Блин. Так, я вот с этим еще, с этой штукой не говорил. Знаю, что тут.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the door.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid game. No, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
А почему книжный магазин, если это главный торговый зал какой-то, ладно?
You ring the doorbell. What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair.
Андро
Just seeing the
Орландо.
words Andro Orlando gets your hackles up. Its very existence is a threat to your masculinity. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You wait for a minute or two, but all it looks
Мне
like
кажется,
someone
кто-нибудь ответит.
has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric.
Ага.
Have you come to place an order?
she sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly.
Да.
My God,
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
it's you. My...
It's a woman, and she knows you. Your heart beats faster.
Michelle, just please.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached from...
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't. Ever since I came to work here, it's been...
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again,
It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally...
she sounds like she's about... The cold is deep under your skin, as if you were talking to someone who's 100 years away. Somewhere inside the building, water is flooding the cellar floor. She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the... Another seagull passes by.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read.
Что такое восковой цилиндр? Ска Слипстрим. Ну-ка, Ска Фортресс
Silence.
Accident.
No one's home at Fortress. Silence. No
Вообще
one
никого нет.
answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one answers you. This button looks new.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably
Блин,
not connected.
страшно. 17% всего шанса. Ну давайте попытку, которая, скорее всего, сейчас неудачная будет, и я загружусь. А потом, если что, навык этот прокачаю. Наверное. Да? Ой, не то.
An old call box with a matrix. Whatever she says,
Успех,
it
что?
can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger. All right. Maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past. There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell. A strange metallic taste fills your mouth.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
Дистанцируйся.
It's you. My
Wait.
Голос
she-
записанный.
Michelle. Why did you leave me call? I don't understand.
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but your hands are getting cold and your breathing becomes visible, forming small silvery puffs in the air.
Ever since I came to work, as if my mind.
And then it hits you. She tries
Вовремя
again
додумался.
not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet, real or not, your mirror neurons react. Anger boils up in your chest. Her sound melts into the static from a... This is where you hung up the call the last time. But a phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a... No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then
For 300 years I have been here. Volatile. If you want me, you can find me on the beach.
So, it was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve. I don't have time to explain it to you right now, maybe sometime later. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together,
that is true.
Ну ладно. А вход в здание мне никто не откроет, потому что оно, видимо, полностью заброшенное.
yes?
Тут просто-напросто никого и нет. Так, логику надо прокачать, да, будет? Опа, так, что-то еще.
This Postler Vantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals two bullets.
И это зачем делать, я не знаю.
The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic.
О, боевой дух
for Fleetwood.
восстановил.
So do you. You shudder. Then you and then suddenly you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the
Ну, пинать я его не буду. Не настолько я плохой, чтобы пинать ящик. Ничего, если я буду ходить с Фомкой и с болторезом в руках? Просто, чтобы было лучше. Чтобы сильно не беспокоиться о жизни. Так, это чё? А, понял. Это мысли. Шкафчик мыслей. Мне надо вот это вот изучить. Ага, плюс одна энциклопедия. Память о событиях возвращается. Угу. А что за решение? А, решить надо, да? Ой, 6 часов 5 минут. Это будет больше 21. Давайте побегаем, пока что поговорим еще со всякими, поизучаем.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Закон это я, ну как обычно.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime Romance.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones. That is a book. They have stories inside them.
She is
Он не объясняет,
unfazed by
даже не
your
спрашивает.
questions.
Но.
She would consider it impolite to point out any.
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend. My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
Ну, говорил, почему она тут
I'm
стоит.
signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not
Мать
know.
её
They'd
заставляет.
miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies.
A sudden gush of wind
Видно же,
turns
да.
the pages of the books on the counters.
Эх.
She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
Я могу помочь безжалостно уничтожив свободный рынок.
Oh no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Горячий сок. Разве
I do my
вкусно?
studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Мгм.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far. They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses. Of course, sir. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
А. Ну, постучать по голове, у него интеллект тоже не особо хороший такой.
What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? Why is that? Sir, please, sir, don't say things like that. You
Правильно.
look nice enough.
Ну ладно,
Don't be
унизил себя.
sad, sir. I'm sorry I said that thing about Dick Mullen.
She looks at Dick dark, arrogant, violent. That's not a healthy look. He isn't even drawn right. She examines the picture, trying to find whatever is wrong with it. She then...
Sure you can, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Хорошо, сейчас я что-нибудь найду.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden.
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going. She looks around anxiously. The lieutenant stands by,
Там это
looking
следы
at the two of you with
насилия.
little interest, a facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than is poised. She brings out her reddened hands. Her
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Ну, я не знаю, почему она ногти может грызть. Из-за холода? Просто привычка.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze.
Внушение.
She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar.
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yeah, that's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words. She shifts and sways
Свое
on her
прошлое
feet,
вспоминает
looking
все-таки, что ли, вечно.
confused and uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how
Просрал
to
боевого
help you.
духа многое. Эх.
Sir, sorry, sir. I'm still little. I don't.
Хотя бы опыта получил.
Maybe some about other books? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. I think that's why people read them, to find the secret.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
They're all dogs.
Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
Так, ну давайте сохранимся, попробуем внушение. Кстати, быстрое сохранение есть на F5, да? О, что-то
Hi,
я
Ace
провтыкал.
Detective. Are you here for more books?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Ладно, потом, если что, повключаю. Книга про паштеты. Понятно. Так, ну что, в магазинчик зайдем. Поговорим с ее матерью. Смотримся для начала. Подтаявшие конфеты.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Щели
Nearly,
мгали.
this is
Интересно.
entirely, completely you. You have found the
Oh, Man from Hjelmdal. A
Ah,
very
yeah,
popular
sure,
series
yeah.
of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those. What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is all. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman, the Man from Hjelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Хельдман. Ла. Слово выговорить не могу.
prose and
Прежде
rose
чем
of
надо заплатить
Hjelmdalaman
долг,
blur your
30.
vision. you make out some
Реалий.
titles.
Реал.
Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall, Return to Heimdall. And the Solipsistic, maybe 100. Man from Heimdall and the Sages at the End of the World. Man from Heimdall and the False. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Heimdall in Hell. Man from Heimdall and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Heimdall under the lake. Man from Heimdall, Heimdall burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pastoral combat gamebook set in the world of Heimdall Man. And a twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts, your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Heimdall in chains. Between the throne and the Heimdall man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels.
Ага. Следовательно, надо купить вот эту, наверное. Потом можно и вот эту, да. Так, тут что? Старые спортивные журналы.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be an endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book, there's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, nonsense for anemic Beano-clads.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda. Growlbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals.
Интересно, что это все дает. Навыки, наверное, какие-нибудь, типа. О, могу навык прокачать, да? Какой только. Ой, я хотел внушение, чтобы с девочкой поговорить. Но так ли это надо мне? Я не знаю. А у меня еще и внушение за какого-то предмета на мне понижено, но... А, я, кстати, с ней еще не говорил, но... Так, ну-ка. Из-за какого предмета у меня внушение понижено? Из-за сорочки. Ладно, пока что наденем.
Welcome to Crime, Romance and Biographies of Famous People. Might be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a policeman.
Son, you got destroyed there. What an idiot.
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go, get back there. The book, everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job? And what else can I do for you?
А, я не могу
Annette,
ничего
yes,
сказать.
my daughter. I hope she was wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. God, I've told her not to do that. It's such a...
A part of hers too, clearly.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called...
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite there. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
Понятно.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course.
My husband is completely different, of course.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes... Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded... We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are... I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand. Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river.
Он?
If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call... Yes, my husband... It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the... He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been...
The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter.
А где дочь? А, вон она. Все. Должна.
I'm
Где мои
sorry,
реалы?
sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my...
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter.
Мог ей войти. Эх, все равно низкие шансы у меня. Даже не знаю, нужно ли прокачивать. Может, лучше грубую силу и это, и дверь выбить пойти. Я тут подумываю. Или внушение все-таки. Не знаю даже. Эх. Но эмпатию я больше не могу повышать. От того, что... А, стоп, я могу сюда добавить. Да? Нет, не могу. Что за плюсик? Ладно, жаль. Ну давайте грубую силу просто повысим. Принять.
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. Oh, I found something while you were away. I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping
Шляпа
out.
дико
Not
майна.
me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does. Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there. Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Попытаться снова.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more?
You have absolutely no idea.
Ничего не вышло. Ну и ладно. Так, шляпу мне подогнала какую-то. Плюс энциклопедия. Книжное знание. А если бы я сказал не по-настоящему, он также бы писал, и даже не настоящий, все такое, да. Все прекрасно, классная шляпа.
A small mountain.
Ой, идти.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over, and crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrep. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to sit. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just does. You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of Richard P. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Owner. Turns out he fainted to solve a case. Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer.
Понятно.
In order to, after all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title, a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend. And as could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere. Is it because the smoking dame in the slinky red dress on the cover is giving you a hard-on? Yes, it is. The bulge in your pants is embarrassingly. Relax. It's not that bad. Also, this means you.
Something the matter, detective?
The lieutenant narrows.
I would certainly say she fits that description, providing that's your type.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate you're a police officer, apparently.
Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen.
Понятно. Ну, иди. Трактат о магии фашистов. Понятно.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the man. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into a very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of... Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely.
Вау, я могу ее
It's
купить.
important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Я хоть что-то могу купить. Охереть можно.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda. a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamir, archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, radiating outwards from you. The suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vimandu, on archipelagos, Croyan lost little pearls of light. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth, connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars.
Даже при том, что я энциклопедию
But looking at them makes you
17
feel
надо
almost
было.
non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you. Perhaps they are
Тоже
gods,
неудача.
gods of
Да тут слишком
distance
много
and
надо.
outer dust.
Хотя бы внутренняя империя успех. Хоть что-то.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered
Такое
by the
длинное
delta
описание,
of a
конечно,
river.
карт.
It is the river Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, Socoudon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the greater river. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this book? It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it. Still,
Какие года
it's
назад?
detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not. They're quite valuable,
Дорогие.
though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, said they didn't get that far. For some reason. A shame the project never got
Красиво.
going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Какую карту Мартинеса, за которую всего лишь 190 центов? Ладно, эти 90 центов так-то не хочется тратить. Почти 1 реал. А у меня этих реалов всего 5.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also, amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage. Wholeness, unity, balance. On the other, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's your own fault if you're ill. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually
Понятно.
transmitted diseases.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf.
Здесь только
I can't
заплат.
have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Понятно. Ну-ка. Так, сохранимся. Знаете, что я хочу?
Shelves
Я
full of
хочу
biography.
купить и
A
посмотреть, что она дает
cultural
просто.
touchstone. Enjoy the read.
Книга великого что-то там.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo. Sat browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl. You can do it. It'll be worth your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz. That's the spirit. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is what I was made for. A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores.
Да?
Incorrect.
Порог помог.
Dolores
Нет, не
Day
помог.
was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the... Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
А,
Despair creeps into you. Getting fat on your
Понятно.
weakness. Whatever...
понятно. Конец меня настал просто. Так. Можно попробовать украсть карту.
Several
Такой вот
maps.
я
The
это.
maps look old and faded. Your eye catches slowly. You move your hand toward the map.
Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners.
Ну ладно. Не буду. Я так и думал, что на самом деле он мне скажет, не стоит.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people.
Нахер эти книги, короче.
You see a
Нет
set
столько
of
денег,
tattered
чтобы
curtains
тратиться на
blocking
них.
the way to another room.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you...
She speaks almost as if she's trying. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more you see some kind of charm. An irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks,
Что?
and this is a traditional
чучело.
Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck.
Понятно.
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtain.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the parapsychologically speaking. We're done if you decide to open them.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Хорошо, я еще подумаю продолжить.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse. You do? My God. Even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Thank you. Let's just talk about this first.
Lies. Rip the curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you. As
Ну-ка, стоп, так. Эх. Сохранимся.
Hello again, esteemed officer. I already told you. It's just a store. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. It's just for decoration. Okay, fine. It's just because this... Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cat. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived.
sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous. It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism. It's...
Wow. Void rave. Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy.
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists
Не
and even a pair
понимаю,
of Simonese
в этой
mediators.
игре есть что-то
They have
паранормальное
rewards
все-таки
help
или
to
что
keep the
такое?
doom at bay and
Так,
protect
не
us
особо я в
against
это
the
верю.
darkness that lies further
Но
in the
насчет этих игр не
building.
знаю.
Even though now I fear, it's not enough.
Так,
Oh, this? No, it's a special
ох,
Himian
реально...
amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost
А
sales.
так в это верит?
Most certainly not. I'm not letting you open the gates of hell. In fact, I don't want anyone who isn't familiar with the psychic arts involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave
Сказал,
the
что
spirits
проклятий не
be,
бывает.
so they can return to their slumber.
Time to fire
Так
up
как
the
так?
old lie machine.
And I am his private partner, John Shaw.
Shao is what the Saolite Empire was called in the Occident back when far less was known about the people. It was a barbarian other, ever so mystical, on whom you could project.
Once we've caught our client's spouse in flagrante delicto, we blackmail them and pocket the money ourselves.
Some penetrating sarcasm from
What nonsense are you two going on about? This is not relevant at all. And besides, my husband would never do such a thing. How can I believe you after all that food?
Our sincere apologies, ma'am. No more nonsense. We are offering to assist you with your troubles. Pro bono.
Какой ключ? Там ключ или там еще дверь какая-то?
Is that what you've been after this whole time? Absolutely not.
Знаешь что? Ты... Такая вот... Да. Теперь заново
Hello
с тобой
again,
говорить.
esteemed officer.
Ради
I
тебя
already
всё.
told it's just for decoration. Okay, are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined the curse? It's the curse of fun. It's not just that off. There's something
sounds familiar.
truly so. Perhaps the dark energies. It's not good to talk.
Wow, such wraiths may prove.
Yes, the wards help to keep the doom at bay. Oh, there are numerous spells cast throughout
Снова
the
же
store.
скажем, что
Most
не верим в
certainly not.
проклятие.
I'm not letting you open the gates of hell.
Time to fire
Попытался
up
её
the
снова
old
убить,
look.
ничего не вышло.
Yes, you do. The woman looks aloof. Her feet.
Ну, я хочу убедить ее, не говоря, что верю в проклятие.
Hello again, esteemed officer. I already told. Just let it. It's just okay. Are you the curse? It's the curse of. It's not just that. There's something
Sounds familiar.
truly so. It's not good to talk.
Wow, such wraiths may prove.
Yes, I've got the wards help to keep the. Oh, there are numerous spells cast throughout. Most certainly not. I'm not letting you open the.
Time to fire up the old
Такое
lie
чувство, что
machine.
сохранения не работают. Надо просто вариант в диалоге поменять, на самом деле.
Hello again, esteemed officer. I already told. Just let it. It's okay. Are you happy now, officer? The curse. It's the curse. It's not just. There's something
Sounds familiar.
truly so. It's not good.
Wow, such wraiths may.
Yes, the wards help to
Okay.
keep the doom. Oh, this. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away.
Сохранимся.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Поговорим.
And welcome.
Slither up to
Ура.
her, you silver-tongued.
Но там все-таки не было написано, что я типа верю в проклятие. Выясню, существует ли.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. You're no paradetective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly.
Hey now, hey. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook.
How do you.
Here we go.
I should have realized. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate, but I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't. If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the... No, this chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite...
Unbelievable darkness and ruin.
Okay, but please, only a few questions.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer.
Ура, так. Ким, что-нибудь скажешь?
Yes?
Ничего не скажешь? Ну ладно. Я хотел логику прокачать, кстати, забыл. Ну там просто труп какой-то гниет. Вот и все. И в здании воняет.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in.
Ага. Ну,
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds,
okay, we'll
of
make it
Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Only an echo. No one. Only an echo. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. You feel the tiny hairs on the back of your neck. An uneasy knot forms in the pit of your stomach.
качалка какая-то. Нормально так. Подвальная. Ой, Ким, хочешь что-то мне сказать?
What is this place?
На
I think you're
ту
right.
юношескую
So it looks
школу
like no
бокса.
one's been here in
Где,
ages.
правда, ринг?
I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flash.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
Так, фонарик. Ага, давай это уберем. Помка, если что, кого-нибудь загасим. Что это? Ядро. Цена 13 реалов. Уф. Не знаю, правда, кому это все продавать пока что. Что, подкачаемся?
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of
60
these weights.
килограммов? Да это
Show the
легко.
world there are no collars
Потому что,
on
думаю,
the
для него
barbell.
должно быть.
This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
Но на
It
самом
would be a
деле,
violation
не
of
особо
PPI
можно уронить
safety
это.
regulations if the gym was still operating. But it
Хотя
isn't.
гриф
No
какой-то
one's supposed to
маленький.
come here anymore.
Чё, не удалось? Или он над головой хочет поднять? Как у тебя не удалось? 83% шанс. Не получился. Ты чё? Друг мой. Ой, я забыл сохраниться, да?
What is this place? I think you're right. I doubt the...
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Sounds good.
A barbell, it's 60. There are no collars on.
You're right. The weight may fall off. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was
почему?
still operating, but it isn't. No one's
Или
supposed to come
получилось?
here anymore.
Чё у него не получается? Почему? Шанс
Знаете,
высокий. А почему-то не выходит. 17% шанс получился просто. Ты можешь поднять эту штангу?
A barbell, like it's 6. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Вот, не стал говорить Киму, и все получилось. Или это баг, я не знаю. А, ну да. А выше поднимать не будет?
Conjuring up an inhuman amount of
Ну
strength,
ладно.
you raise the barbell up in the air.
Я думал, он
Your
просто хочет
biceps tremble,
поднять в
but
приседе.
you're a savage. This is a children's game.
Ну, поднял. Хорош, правда, у него левитировала она.
A warm wave
Им
of
ничего не скажешь.
accomplishment
Опа, опа,
washes
опа.
over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor.
Good technique. You're right. The weight may fall off. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations.
Все, Кач, молодец, вообще.
The barbell
Хорош,
waits
брат.
patiently.
Правда, сделал одно повторение, ладно, я не знаю. Этим я еще не занимался. Поднятием штанги над головой. Не очень так-то, как по мне. Тяжко слишком. Номерами и мусором. Моча, наверное, еще какая-то. Вот это вот, да? Опа, 3 реала плюс. Так-то мне бы деньги заработать еще больше. Либо найти все-таки дом свой.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotorblades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other. That's a good question.
Ладно,
Not quite. You do know that there's something up.
понятно. Узловой бок, что? 50 реалов нашел? Вау, то есть все-таки возможно расплатиться за эту гостиницу? Жалкую. Радиокомпьютер. Окей.
Yes?
Ага. Ателье Эмма.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes. Like some
She's
ancient, some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and draw. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different
Self
types of Welkins. You make out automatic translucent Welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether Welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness. One of the Welkins towering among the rest, appears to be its Vada Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The Haldor, the Tuareg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with...
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. Political commentary. That one has a great beard too. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Just look at those details.
And for what? All gone. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms. The entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its own way. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the mark. Minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Я его нашел.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out three. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call
Понятно.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside. We had one of these down at the station, but I never read.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment. It's empty like a beehive. With that, the filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Так, секунду.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the stone. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very perceptive. History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Анатомия проклятия.
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red. Looks like a surveillance program. Someone very important, the leader of a massive on-air game, built a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through. Whoever decides to call in to a
Аким,
call-in
не хочешь
station,
ничего поговорить?
looks all of this is gone. There's no way a little basement studio working here.
My god. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from...
Так, у нас тут еще какая-то дверь. Ой, Ким хочет со мной поговорить, да? Давай. Хорошо.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grat, Messina, but I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have true call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for the moment. He's a little hooked.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the Wii.
Super cool.
Может, стоит купить
Someone
её, да?
should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Ну так-то было бы неплохо инвестировать в эту игру, раз уж она единственная в своем роде. Если получится, можно получить, а если не получится, можно деньги проебать просто, ну ладно.
Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving. Yes?
Самый крутой RPG. Ой, это выход. Верни меня обратно, пожалуйста. Обратно,
Yes.
да не к нему. Уйти. Так, к этой штуке подойти. Сейчас загрузим.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering.
Ну-ка,
Casting,
сперва вот
nothing
это вот
happens.
посмотрим.
Nothing happens. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. Nothing happens. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. Oh no. It was already glowing and now the static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Это запись все-таки или что это?
Yes. Is that the production schedule? If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is good. Please repeat the password. No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for a repeater station.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident without filing.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Still no. Received. I will register this.
That sounds bad. Don't worry. Passwords are...
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal York. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I am 70.
She repeats passwords.
Понятно.
Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Interlindian repeater station. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled. Doesn't it get lonely? Sitting there all by herself.
Lonely? What?
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress. Thank you. and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament
Кажется,
slides
заберем.
out of its glowing nest.
Так, оп, если что, он со мной. Непонятно, как оно все это работает, но ладно. Так, что тут у нас? Вариала магний. Хорошо. Какой-то холодильник медведя.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. This ice bear is a hypercarnivore. Be careful.
Так, подожди.
You
Сохранился.
see a terrifying ice. This ice bear is a hype. The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the hole. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What an unfortunate marketing. What is even worse, the bear is
Вообще-то
still costing
красиво.
them money to this day.
Он огромный, просто это мешает,
The
как по
fridge
мне.
buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left.
Does it say anything
Я
interesting?
сейчас журнал свой не полностью изучил.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenants detect someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take.
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge. Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to this. Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Понятно. Так, ну
The
в
bear's
холодильнике
eyes
чё?
are still glowing red.
Ничего. И сзади него вроде я ничего тоже не могу исследовать. А это что? Отключена от сети и разморожена. Включить, что ли, ее надо? Подождите, сейчас я сюда вернусь. Вот тут вот надо посмотреть, что я думаю, там тупик. Теперь здесь не пройти.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the... No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter.
What are you doing? Wait, really? You should investigate. See if someone's upstairs.
97%.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty...
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
After you, officer.
Ага, понятно. Так, и тут что-то еще. Блин, как же все сложно. Две ржавые винтовки. А. Оружие всякое.
A few bricks have fallen off,
Интересно.
revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. But there is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs, rummaging around.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in
He
Martin.
likes this find.
Прекрасно. Дорого, наверное. 11 всего лишь-то. Дешево как-то. По сравнению с этим кубом, я думал, она будет дороже гораздо, чем нежели какие-то 11
A
реалов.
few bricks have fallen.
Мог бы и ржавый так-то взять, сдал бы где-нибудь на металл. Угу. Вопрос, а зачем мне мазать руки сажей? Небольшой такой.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it. A lush layer of coal now covers your skin. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave paint still. It's good to have this dirt on you. Real men wear coal for makeup. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. But
Then what was the chatter you
Угу. Голоса людей слышу. Я просто посмотреть, чё как, чё будет. А так я этого делать не особо хочу. Так, тут что у нас? Опа, замерзшая машина для производства мороженого.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top
Достаточно надежная
and an
монтировка.
electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance,
Уже 3 хилки есть, хорошо. Так, ну-ка подожди. А что не так? А может болторез, я не знаю. Что еще-то?
yes,
Ой, отмена. Я случайно пытался сохраниться и начал говорить в этот момент с этим.
this orange machine is
А, теперь
buzzing like
могу
an
просто
old. You
попробовать.
slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too. If you want to try again, then you need to have
Equip the pry bar by going to the tools tab.
Но монтировка нужна обязательно. Ну, даже с
This
монтировкой у меня
orange
шанс
machine
всего
is buzzing
5,
like an old
ой,
submarine.
3%.
It has a
Ну это,
hand-cranked
давайте
ice
просто
cream
наладьте,
churner
но не
on top.
получится,
The
скорее
ice
всего, ну
squeaks
понятно.
beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the. You see the pry bar's metal.
yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen. I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker is
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious.
С монтировкой это все нормально.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine.
Ладно. Просто откатим, чтобы, если что, я мог потом вскрыть. А то это понятно, что я с 3% не вскрою эту крышку. Ага, деньги. Ну, в подвале из окна видны ноги прохожих. Понятно. Так, тут что у нас?
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Ну-ка.
Something close to you dies with a soft.
Why did you do that?
Ну, давайте вот
The
так.
lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Ну-ка. И что я сделаю вообще?
This orange machine is dead still.
Плюс
has
2
a
машина
hand crank.
отключена. Это помогло чем-то. Ну-ка, давайте медведя еще попробуем
Only the
отключить.
red cable and electric sizzle. The room is slightly quiet.
Так, не знаю зачем, но давайте посмотрим, что с ним теперь.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting.
Ладно, пускай выключен будет, электричество не будет тратить тут. Опа. Безумная майка какая-то там. Дает дебафов и дает баф к драме. За место рубашки, но... Как я вообще в ней выгляжу? Что за херня? Минус одно внушение, конечно, ну да ладно. Так, все, идем наверх. Поднимемся. Так. Ага. Понятно, где я вылез. Ну с кем я говорил-то? Теперь-то не понять.
An old call box with a matrix of
Непонятно, с кем я говорил, короче. Давайте обратно вот тут вот так же обойдем. Уже 20:42, пока я тут ходил. Классно.
a thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Не знаю, зачем мне руки сажей мазать. Ну, если этот вариант есть, наверное же он
A thick
нужен.
layer of a lush layer. Maybe you could paint still. It's good to have.
Пускай будет. Я не знаю, зачем мне это, но пускай будет. Ладно, лучше бы я снаружи пробежал. Да тут бежать еще так долго. Так, а пароль я-то нигде не нашел, да?
Tiles on the cube. Nothing happened.
Пароль-то я и правда нигде не нашел.
Your flashlight. Some of the writing has failed.
Ну-ка, может попробовать с ней еще раз поговорить все-таки.
Tiles on the cube, like a smooth draw. The speaker.
Good evening, sir. Please repeat. Is this the product? Good. Please receive
Нет,
Don't worry.
fortress
никакой
accident.
пароль не
Tiles on
появился.
the filament slight.
Следовательно, продавать его пока кому-либо не стоит. Так, снова вернулись в этот зал. Не знаю, зачем мне еще раз к штанге
The
подходить.
barbell waits.
Надо было. Время заканчивается, а у меня всего 12 реалов. Я вернулся.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? Yes, yes. How was it? But what else did you find? Did anything survive?
You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found that entity of hers.
А, просто и все. И ухожу от нее, не говоря ничего. Ну так обычно и делают, да?
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Ничего нам говорить. Так, день прошел, еще один, а мы труп с дерева так и не сняли. Так, мужик какой-то. Надо пойти снять труп как-нибудь. Так, херня какая-то еще.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reef. You know this to be the star of Periconesus, or the Cairo. The central...
Probably some kids.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm.
Понятно. Мужик какой-то стоит. Ну. Так же, как винтовки на
This
металл.
coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle.
Не хочу. Денег мало. Что у тебя тут валяется, мужик? Какой-то полиэтиленовый пакет. Это чтобы мне бутылки собрать в него? Чтобы собирать тару. И вправду. А, он со мной не особо так поговорил. Первый, кто со мной не говорит по 30 минут. Так, собираем. Стаканная тара. Есть. Собираем мусорщик теперь. Оп, что это было? Ну, не появится снова? Так, ага, вот. Крики морских птиц вдалеке. Строить линию отверстий откуда. Прикол. О, вот еще флам всякие. Ну, подойди, возьми. Мужик, отойди, ты мне мешаешь. Мусор собирать. Хотя не стоит по 10 центов, но это мне тоже пригодится. Северный объезд. Кейп-сайт. От мусора улицы очищаю. Подвинься. На этом деньги зарабатываются. Надо сходить снова вечером в бар, то есть сейчас. Отойди, мешаешь. Понятно. Это все-таки ход в порт.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Невозможно. 18 концептуализаций. Некоторые вещи в сумерках выглядят отчетливее. С 3% ничего явно не выйдет. А, да, я вернулся тут на эту сторону. Обошел. Ой, реал, что ли? Отойди, там деньги валяются. Брат, отойди, ты мешаешь. А, нет, план какой-то. А это все сюда собираю, да? Я думал, в инвентарь все летит.
There must be another way into the building.
You see
Ой,
a
я до него
young
могу
man on
докричаться.
a balcony. nursing a cigarette.
Not looking for any trouble, officer. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay. I just want to finish my...
It's the god of cigarettes
Ага,
and
понятно.
youth. Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view.
Apologies, but this is my last one.
The god himself has denied you absolution.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. As you wish. Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat.
All right, but make it quick.
By God, this young man has the body of a decathlete. His lithe
Да,
form
воркаутом
was
самое то
practically made
заниматься.
for vaulting over the high bar.
Occasionally. Why? No. I just like to look good. Trust me, I'm not a team player. My name? My name?
Martin Martinez, good local name.
Мартинес. И
Let's
прямо
go
по
with
имени
that.
квартала или города, что это, я так не понимаю.
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good.
We will remove the body as soon as possible.
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you? No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
A downy blanket of white to cover.
You didn't answer the question. What would...
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend. He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and though
Понятно.
Help you? No, sorry, gendarme. I have to run. No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Просьба о сигарете ему не особо понравилась.
this
Wow,
isn't
повезло.
the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance? For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eye.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But, hold on. What's that? For a split sec, it's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
Угу. Камень. Окей. Ну, возможно, я бы его и сам нашел так-то. Ну ладно. Ну или с ним вообще взаимодействовать нельзя. Ну-ка.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our... If we find a way inside the building, we can ask...
Ага, нельзя
A
было с ним
stone, like
взаимодействовать.
any other, lying in a whirl of... There's a key beneath it. Rusty. Front.
This must be for the front door. Pity he doesn't have the apartment number on it. We'll just have to go in and see.
Стало стулья побитые дождем и гнилью. Еще пулевые отверстия какие-то. Интересно. Оранжевая бомжовская шляпа. Интересно. Она, конечно, добавляет скорость реакции, но у меня есть шляпа, которая дает мне энциклопедию и минусов не дает. Как по мне, это получше будет. Ну-ка, чё, я не могу с этой поговорить? Может, она чуть новое скажет, раз уж я появился за ней.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Pig's come to take me out. Trying to...
If anything, you're afraid she'll take you out one day.
Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? Trying to sneak up on me again?
Ага. Так, где там у меня сохранение-то? Ой, далеко, да? Ну-ка, стоп. Почему показывают по времени 5 часов? Давайте тут вот так сохранимся. Все равно 5 часов 44 минуты. Непонятно. Ладно, пойдем сюда залезем. Не залезем, да? Что тут-то? Ага. В какой квартире он живет, поспрашивать. Давайте попозже. Пока что давайте вернемся к нам. И заодно по пути всякое пособираем.
The dented yellow mailbox.
Так, это чё? Так, на скамейке я уже говорил, по-моему.
We can sit on benches after we've...
You can revisit the bench if you...
А, стоп, точно. У машины забыл. Там можно посмотреть при помощи фар на что-то, да еще и по рации надо позвонить.
Alright. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The raspberry gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes. The lights unfold with a little click, casting
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sir, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service. The crown jewel in the mob.
No. And I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Anything else? Just a second. Sylvie Malak. Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective?
Блин, я что-то думал, что могу у нее спросить. Ну ладно.
You hear the call break.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, you're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell every...
10-4, sir, I'm not hearing your question. Understood, sir. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
Так, окей. Я забыл, что мне надо было посмотреть на этих фарах, конечно.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
There she is.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol.
Let me see. Right here. Oh yes. Coal City.
All of them worse than here. There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots. The next is the longest. It runs all. There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 100. The last row has 3 perforate. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM.
Son, here is where we score your...
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Fair point. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Wow, more than 200! It's quite a lot. even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades.
Неплохо.
Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Call it what you want. You are a valuable member, right? Those are your confirmed kills.
Confirmed kills. That sounds pretty
Понятно.
evil.
3
A
кило.
drink would soften that feeling.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, there are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, but it seems as though you are, or at least
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
yes,
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective, or personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Anything's better than annihilating yourself with drugs and alcohol.
The lieutenant nods.
Right, I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
Понятно. Неплохо так. Следующий день. Хорошо, что я сегодня все-таки вспомнил об этом и позвонил. Так, с тобой не о чем говорить, да, по-моему, уже,
I
наверное.
can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago.
Так, ну что, зайдем. Добыл 13 реалов. Опа, людей еще много тут, кстати, появилось. А мужик все так и спит. А может он, кстати, бы нам и помог труп снять.
The worker is in a deep.
Блин, но я сниму, я его уже не разбужу. Может вот эта вот дама помогла бы нам снять труп с дерева? Ладно, ничем она не поможет. Вот это я понял. Так, я грубую силу прокачал, да? По-моему.
You see ahead the door, the challenge. The steel doesn't
Тут
even
даже-
drop now. You're hanging from the hand. Okay, it was.
Тут даже не проверяется сила, точно. Тут просто ты толкаешь, и все время будет то, что я не могу ее протолкнуть. Даже если бы будь у меня максимальная сила, я бы, наверное, не смог. Ну да, Сильвия уволилась.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? A lot. A lot. For the room, drinks, and like what?
То есть мне для начала надо накопить эти 130 реалов. Да. Видимо, да. Так, ну может, я могу отправиться на исследование, так сказать? Типа этого. Усвоить. Ну и что? А, то есть мне надо ждать этого 6 часов просто, а не тратится время сразу. Блин, тогда я мог бы еще раньше это поставить, я не знал. Я думал, он куда-нибудь там пойдет искать, а не просто думать. Усвоить. Давай, я не знаю. Блин. Да, время просрал. Ну ладно, все равно ему нечего исследовать больше, так что ладно.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
15 баксов этих.
The man before you.
Угу. Понятно. Так. Взаимодействуем сейчас с журналом. Тогда уж. Я могу бегать нормально, так не устану пока что. Или отоспаться все-таки надо сходить. Давайте вот тут вот сохранимся вот так вот, на всякий случай. Так, ну давайте журнал почитаем свой.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red. Then rip them from the binder and hand 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special
Я могу
paperwork.
кому-нибудь
These are
выписать,
quite
интересно.
sinister in turn. They give
Было
a
бы
date
неплохо
and
деньги
time for
заработать.
the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges, a dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased color of the irises, predation marks, condition of... Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for rob. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have split. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want? AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, that you were so drunk you didn't remember what it was when... Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man. And you can't lock them. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear
Дело
view
на то, чтобы
mirrors
заставить
would be
кого-то
for them
бросить
to
пить.
stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s you would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose, and it's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH, had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations. Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But that he must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now. Kill them. They broke it. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You can't get out of his apartment. An invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the
Все, чтобы не рушило имущество чужое, сделал из него инвалида.
to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is
Если
solved.
это он? Ладно.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing.
Но смог закрыть дело.
Do you want to read another one? Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
А что плохого? Просто на холме. Посреди улицы. Рок-музыканты музыку включили громко. Ну ладно, да.
Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, they were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up. And you did. So no, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time. Murder. Tum-tum-tum at the hookah parlor. was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister, was on it for, like, a month. Mills didn't get off the pot, not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still, no, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke. Yeah. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a wreck. Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply.
Так
And
легко?
you don't notice it until you get up to go to the
То есть
bathroom.
тот не мог посмотреть записи?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was murder at the hookah parlor. Not much has changed in arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. You don't exactly close
Так,
them
все, осталось вот
so
это
much
вот.
as distance yourself from the smelly papers.
Бёрк помог открыть, да?
It's the ledger you found in the
Сохранимся на
trash.
всякий
A
случай.
cabbage of paper is not what you end up doing. You squeeze, a hot flash of rage comes over you. For a moment, it's unjust. That's why the fucking drunks. It's their fault. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess.
Давайте загрузим. Ой, со мной о чем-то хочет он поговорить? Давай.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserable. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM.
Though he finds this situation frustrating.
Ну, уже 12 часов, мы тут стоим. Попробуйте договориться. У меня есть целых 13 реалмов. Может, это его уговорит, я не
It's the
знаю.
ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging is not a hot flash. It's
Sure.
unjust. That's why.
Надо технику повысить все-таки, да? А я, кстати, могу, кажется.
It's the ledger you found in the trash.
О, получилось, ладно.
The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned. Like the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, without resistance, or 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium
что
costs
значит?
extra. These
Ладно.
thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet. It smells of chewing gum. A touch of cinnamon. The end of summer. You think the label says familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. A young woman in her 20s. There is care. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write. Throw it away, please. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find that every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Spark, you. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. Kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your... You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No. Hold on. To what?
Ты куда?
There's...
Detective, is everything alright?
Все? Смерть? Что это? Что
There
начать?
is nothing.
Что?
Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness he's grasping.
The call.
Here in the paleo-mammalian core, because it's always there.
Новая мысль, белый траур.
There is no Voyager road. There are no roads, no houses. Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Beautiful. Believe me.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No.
Yes, they're poor.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the
Ну, я
driver's
же могу у него в
basket,
машине поспать, по идее.
Water.
the water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your...
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human
А
body is
времени
not made
прошло
to
10
survive
минут.
on
Я думал,
alcohol
вчера
alone?
проспит день.
You need a secondary form of hydration.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take 10 minutes, maybe.
Ага.
That does sometimes happen.
Журнал неудачи
You
ненависти.
dropped this. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your...
Понятно. Все обновилось. 3 часа осталось? Ой, он так долго это... Белый траур. Ага, минус авторитет за временный бонус. Давай. Начнем изучение, так сказать. Минус 2 авторитета. Ах.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. Without resistance or sound, the 2 panels move. It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe. Your hand shakes. You're flushed with adrenaline. Without resistance, the words just crossed your mind somehow. Who do you think? You. It's slip your hand.
Понятно. Так, ну пока что не будем прокачивать, пока что идем просто. Надо бы отоспаться. Так, ты кто? Я с тобой говорил разве? Я не помню такого. О, мужик ушел. А, ну да. Понял.
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation.
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking, and I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Not until you bring me the...
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use.
Oh, Lieutenant. Where? Yes, have you got it? Does that arrangement include you as a police officer? You must understand that evidence being money. You can't stay here without money. Not until...
Ладно, ну-ка.
Oh, Lieutenant.
Ну, ключ я, кстати, ему не вернул. Ну, ладно. Так, кстати, старушка тоже куда-то ушла. Да, не очень тут сидеть в 12 часов ночи.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps.
I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal. A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high. I don't know. Is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity. No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
Don't make your unpaid hostel bill a moral boon, officer. It won't stick.
Shut down. I've nothing to add.
Yes, there's one 100 meters south of here. I think it's called...
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy.
Ладно, сам
The
хочет помочь.
lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Я изначально не хотел их забирать у него, но это все-таки он конфисковал, не его. Короче, мне это поможет. Сколько? Ну, объективно надо взять. Потому что если это колпачки какие-то обычные. Сигареты между грузовиками. Где? Вот это вот. Интеллект минус 1 здоровье. А интеллект это чем добавляет курение сигарет? Мне интересно вот. Ага. Использовать левую ячейку, а у меня в левой ячейке мусор. Нельзя. Я вообще не знаю, куда мне идти, кстати, к этому. А, тут обходить надо было. Ага. Оп. Human Nox.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's being reared. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings." What did he do? You have no idea what you, high above you, the king stands.
Как так-то не вышло, а? Ой, я забыл.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Yes.
Я забыл. Ой. Побежали обратно. Я забыл сохраниться перед этим. Ну нечестно, я хотел узнать там об этом челиксе. 72% шанс, вот как так?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
I have something.
Transport enclosure, the cage.
I confiscated this for a little while back. A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. I don't know. Is it? There are spinner hubcaps. Free? No, no.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
Don't make your...
Shut down. I've nothing to add.
Yes, there's...
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Road.
The lieutenant nods.
Давай, беги.
An old monument, a silver plaque on the statues, even by the standards of the Philippian kings. Old sumptuous, well, he blew through the whole national treasury. Starting the decline, his own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line. Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremony. Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine, that's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later. Right before they entered cocaine. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, a group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought the statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time. A rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air.
Прикольно. Белая майка плюс грубая сила. Опа. Неплохо так. Чё у меня эта сорочка дает? Плюс концептуализацию. Если что, наденем белую майку. Потом. Вот целый 1 реал. Несколько центов. Что за мужик?
The small, wrinkled
Ты
woman
женщина, что
does
это?
not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to... Why? I just told...
Правда? Ты уверен?
The woman still had no response wherever this woman...
Ну ладно. Югу от площади. Вы думаете, я пойму? Куда мне идти к югу от площади? Ну вот это площадь или это не площадь? Непонятно. Иномарка в хорошем состоянии. О, мусор какой-то. Центр. КП. Левашевский газовый порт. Понятно. А вот и магазин, кстати. Магний. Все-таки что-то делает. Где этот чертов ломбард? Мне кто-нибудь подскажет? Я нашел магазин, но не нашел ломбард. Видимо, эту ночь мы не поспим. Магазин закрыт. Так, ну мне в одну сторону осталось бежать, то есть вниз куда-нибудь. Это в порт, наверное, я думаю. Так, тут какие-то мужики были, я помню. Ведут на крышу, на какую крышу, интересно. Так, это что? Еще отхил. Я куда-то зашел. Куда я попал? Это ломбард? Видимо, что так.
Typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Фонарь срезали, ну ладно.
The light pole has been carefully cut and the wiring has been redone. This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working. It was brought to me to be...
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
700 real. A bargain.
7 соток? Ты чё?
No, it's not. He's trying to sweet talk you into buying trash.
There's also the matter of
О,
rewiring.
ты чё?
But the most important transformation is the
Я
light
всё равно могу его
placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which
А
has
я просто
adjusted
для
its
рофла
morphological
поставлю.
field. The light became suitable for use in 700
A bargain?
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or well, there are the costs of removal and rewire. The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has a...
Okay, that checks out.
700...
A bargain?
Hey, I don't know where it came from, but it's not every day you get to...
Понятно. Ладно, давайте позже уже поговорим с ним. Что же, давайте мы на этом закончим. Всем пока.